Hi, my West Astrology Tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Welcome back to my podcast. Today, I'm here to talk about the Saturn and Jupiter square. Saturn is in Pisces and Jupiter is in Gemini, and they're going to square August 19th. And it's going to be actually, let me check, 17 degrees and 27 minutes. So it's going to happen in the second decan. So if you're new to my channel, please note I'm usually talking about fixed stars and asteroids as well. And also I'm talking about the archetype. I try to timestamp my videos, so if you don't like mundane astrology, just please skip it and go ahead and listen to your sign. Every single time I'm analyzing also each individual rising sign. Obviously, this is a general reading. I don't see your chart, so I don't know exactly what kind of aspect does it make with your natal planets, right? But, just generally, I'm using whole sign tropical astrology, also just like everyone else on YouTube channel, unless they do Vedic astrology. But if they do tropical, then they're going to use whole sign astrology. All right, guys, so let's start actually with this reading. So I'm not going to talk a lot about Jupiter, but just a tiny little bit over here. So because you need to understand the archetype before we're going to make any, prediction over here. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, optimism, higher learning, abundance, the riches. Jupiter is actually the fairy godfather for you and Santa Claus. It rules the ninth house in Sagittarius daytime, and it rules nighttime, actually the old avatar of Pisces. And then we're going to also talk about Rigel, because there is a fixed star we call Rigel, which is actually known for its brilliance, bringing honor, brings wealth and intellectual achievement. And Jupiter conjunct Rigel during this time in Gemini, why it's going to square Saturn. Gemini rules the third house, ruled by Mercury. It rules communication, intellect, adaptability, duality. It rules your neighbors, your relatives, so nieces, nephews, aunt, uncles, short-term traveling, your phone, your vehicle, and it also rules your siblings as well. And then also we have to talk about Saturn. And Saturn actually is the Lord of Karma. It rules the 10th and 11th house. 11th house co-rules Aquarius with Uranus. So Saturn is restriction, it's discipline, it's responsibility. Saturn brings structure and diligence into our life. Saturn also fears as well and challenges, delays, decays. And actually, it's in Pisces right now. Pisces rules the field of spirituality, compassion, intuition, illusion, delusion, rules the 12th house and co-ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Neptune is Mother Teresa in Pisces, absolute forgiveness, the martyr. And then Jupiter is more like the spiritual, intuitive and spiritual messenger in Pisces. So, or teacher actually, because Jupiter is the teacher. Pisces also rules hospice, hospitality, jails, orphanages, all the underprivileged. And also because Neptune is higher octave of love and art, photography, filmography, videography, script writing, connected with art as well, guys. And then we're going to talk about another fixed star today, and it is Fum Al Samakah, and that is in 15 degree of Pisces. So actually it's exactly on the midpoint of the Pisces sign, right? So it's very important. Fum Al Samakah is associated with artistic talent and mystical insight, intuition, but art, honor in art, right? And right now, what we're going to have between Saturn and Jupiter, it's going to be a square. Square is Martian in flavor, in archetype. So it's a challenging energy. Why? Because it's very dynamic in interaction. And also it brings in and represents tension as well, a lot of tension, like an urge to change. So what is the astrological influence actually of Fum Al Samakah? So because of it is something to do with mysticism and Saturn conjunct right now with this fixed star, it's going to bring it and square with Rigel and Jupiter. So this conjunction between Saturn and Fum Al Samakah and Jupiter and Rigel in Gemini emphasizing actually on communication and intellectual pursuit, and also on adaptability as well. But intellectual pursuit through spiritual and mystical matters. So it's not very typical over here because you're going to listen to your intuition, even in education, in learning. So even when you're going to express your emotion, intuition going to really be magnified during this time. The square itself going to create a major tension, okay? And it's going to create a tension between our intellectual freedom and, expansion and the demand for discipline and structure in spiritual and mystical pursuit. So we're going to have some kind of potential conflict, but also resolution because Saturn is in Pisces. Then some kind of miscommunication, misunderstanding may arise during this time, anything to do with academic context or historical context, and we need to clarify that. We need to clarify the information. Jupiter is really, really optimistic. So it's going to clash with Saturn. Saturn is the father of Jupiter. Jupiter overthrown Saturn and helped all his brothers and sisters to escape Saturn because Saturn ate them all. Here it is the tension between father and son. So we could actually see some politicians who going to have some kind of fallout with the son in the news. So that is struggle between them for sure. And also there is a struggle between Gemini and Pisces as well, because Pisces is really, really emotional and very spiritual and really intuitive. And Gemini is intellectual, and because ruled by Mercury, it could be very, very particular and very rational as well. And Pisces is absolutely not rational whatsoever. So how can it impact us? So if we are checking the finances, that could be some kind of challenge in speculative markets. Actually, it could bring in over optimism because don't forget, we have also 4 days before Mars and Jupiter conjunction, which is over optimism. So it could be like, all right, a lot of people invested in stock market and they're going to actually decrease the value. And, it could bring in some kind of issues, but only with Jupiterian, Saturnian energy, anything to do with Gemini energy and Piscean energy. So the stock market going to be affected through those energies. So pharmaceutical, natural gas, oil, heating oil, anything to do with coffee beans, anything to do with oat, anything to do with indexes. And, because of it's going to happen Gemini, so we have to also consider Mercury over here. So cell phones, computers. Saturn in Pisces could be something with pirates. So it could be like, and also because of Venus is exalted in Pisces, we have to check that as well here. So it's going to be something to do with like maybe the diabetes medication, or they are using it for weight loss and it's going to have a lot of side effect and the value of the stock going to go down. So we have to check, everything in order to understand before we're going to do a prediction. In health, mental health, going to be under magnifying glass, and there could be some kind of intellectual stimulation through art. They're going to actually emphasize on, how important is bringing religion or spirituality in our education, for sure. And also, it could be also, yes, they're going to actually, because of it's ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, Pisces. So in education, they are going to bring in some kind of structure with creative thinking, and actually emphasize on creative writing, creative thinking, and also they're going to put money into art as well. The way we express ourselves going to be very, very important. And, world events wise, anything to do with freedom of speech, because it could be something to do. Twitter, Disney, Facebook stock could go down during this time, because Gemini, Jupiter is in Gemini, guys. So it could be some kind of tension on social media and the stock of the social media, or anything to do with educational stocks. It could be something terrible coming up with that on stock market. But, actually, the freedom of speech and debates on global level, global scale, going to be center of attention. And also it's going to be information and misinformation, like because of Pisces could be misinformation, and delusional, illusional. It could be lies as well. And because it's hidden enemy as well, something is coming to surface. Lies going to come to surface during this time, for sure. There could be some kind of different ideology in if we are checking the geopolitical era. Like for example, alliance is going to fall out. There could be some kind of issue with religion, or between the two different religious countries, right? It's going to emphasizing. They try to negotiate, but maybe it's not going to come through. It's not going to unfold. Climate-wise, I told you in the 2025 horoscope, what I already put on, that it's going to bring in a lot of rain. And also because we're going to have North Node in Pisces, and the first Piscean lunar eclipse going to happen September 17, 2024. We're going to have a lot of hurricanes and flooded. So yes, there could be some kind of challenge. And, because of we do have Saturn in Pisces, we could have some kind of information of, first of all, it could be something suffering, like the navigation system of the cars, of the airplanes, anything to do what is due to traveling, even submarines navigation system. And actually, I just watched a podcast where they said Cuba let Russia to have a few submarines around Cuba, which is like 40 miles away from Miami, and they have some kind of nuclear bomb on it. Bomb on it. So, it could be really an issue over here. All right, so definitely there is stock market volatility during these times. I actually explained which stock could go down. Also, cryptocurrency regulation could come up because of Gemini. Also, the third house rules anything to do with software, and also it could be cryptocurrency as well. So, that some kind of new rules or taxation could come in as well. All right, what else is happening during this time? Communication. So climate, like we were talking about the rains over here, but there could be some kind of new environmental policies, which is going to be really practical and sustainable energies for sure during this time. And they're going to actually improve the way we are predicting climate, like hurricanes or tornadoes or whatever. And today, actually, we had a 5.1 magnitude in Texas, and we had some in Hawaii as well, but it's still the Uranus-Mars, what's happened in July 15th, the effect of that. And because it started a synodic cycle, guys, it started a 2-year synodic cycle. So that's why I told you earthquake going to be like under magnifying glasses, like we will have a lot of increase in earthquake and tornadoes and hurricanes as well. All right, but that is the Saturn Jupiterian energy. So there is a challenge because it's a square. Stock market is going down during this time. I told you which stock is that, which could actually suffer. Yes, so there could be some issue with submarine and navigation system, cars, internet blackout, censorship. Censorship is very, very dominant during this time. They're going to try to censor everyone on social media who tells the truth because they don't want to hear the truth, right? All right, guys, so I wanted to do a short reading because we are going to a candlelight concert with my kids and one of the little friend of my older son, and it's going to be actually in a church, just only candles, and it's going to be rap music on violin, and we will say hopefully it's going to be amazing. All right, so I'm going to start with Aries rising sun and moon, and we're going to see how is it going to work out for you. Let me try to choose a background here, and I think I really did. Okay, here. All right, Aries rising sun and moon. So Saturn is in your 12th house and Jupiter is in your 3rd house. You might find your private dreams and subconscious thoughts clashing, with the way you are thinking. So it is like, okay, I have a dream, but how can I actually reach this? What is it required to do to reach my dream? And you're not necessarily going to find the answer here. And also, there is a desire for solitude, and there is also a desire to network and interact with other people, but also there is a desire to stay at home. So that is going to clash, guys, because you're going to be invited many times for, social events, but you are seeking to stay home and just hide away from people. There could be some kind of hidden talents, actually. What you are really good at it, and you wanted to show the world your talent, but right now you have a lot of self-doubt or fear during this time, or struggle to share publicly your talent because you are scared from judgment. There could be also some kind of mental health challenge, some kind of fear or self-sabotaging behavior. And, and you need to find a way actually to communicate it, to ask for help during this time. There could be also some kind of spiritual belief may not always align with your everyday conversation. So, for example, you have a lot of people around you, and you believe in something, but you cannot share what you believe in or what you've seen because other people would think you are crazy. There is some kind of past trauma that could actually surface during this time. And then you will need to go in a group setting, perhaps, and talk about that. There is definitely subconscious fears because of Saturn is in your 12th house. But it could be also fears from traveling. You have to go somewhere, but you are just uneasy about traveling right now. There could be some kind of mediation between friends or family members or neighbors and you, because there could be some kind of gossip rising, and you need to clear that out. There could be also at this time amazing for healing through writing. So writing could be really therapeutic for you, and because you can express your emotions, you don't need to show that to anyone, but writing is really good during this time. If you would like to, you are capable to actually pursue something with intellectual activities, as I said, writing, script writing, anything to do with photography, anything to do with videography as well. And as I said, you will need to isolate yourself a little bit because there will be a lot of buzz around you socially. All right, Taurus rising, sun and moon. We're going to try to choose virtual background, and we're gonna go Taurus. Here is the Taurus rising, sun and moon. It's going to happen in your 11th and 2nd house. Taurus, you can experience tension between your social circle and financial goals, needing to balance group activities with personal financial stability. There is also long-term goals involving community, friends, and it might going to clash with your self-worth because they might not going to support you, or you feel like they don't support you, your friends. And it could be also a group project which going to need you to take on right away, but somehow you don't have the financial base to be in this group or join this group, and it's going to really frustrate you. Or maybe you were a leader in a group and you achieved something, but the financial reward is coming later. Then you have to maintain your desire to your social status because also you get the social status, but because of you are attending a lot of group activity, you can overspend your money, and it could put you in debt during this time. So definitely don't strain your saving because it is overspending here. It could be like your friends distracting you from your personal earning potential. So, you have to do a video, you have to do this and that to create money, but they are inviting you all the time. And because of that, you are not capable to create the content what you need. Charitable activities are actually going to be very active during this time, but it could be also like you give too much, you give more than you should. For example, it could be some kind of clash with your personal wealth. Or you give on credit card and they steal more, and like you just figure out that didn't go to the cause you wanted it to go. Social justice, it's coming into your life, but you are actually advocating for social justice during this time. Your words is going to be really strong and powerful. You have to get out from your comfort zone to do this kind of community activities, talking in front of people, because peer pressure during this time is really big. So if you have a lack of self-confidence, that could be an issue over here. You need a lot of discipline. So yes, don't go for peer pressure and group influence because it could actually take you to the wrong road. All right, Gemini, rising sun and moon, where are you, Gemini, here you are. It's going to happen in your 1st house and 10th house. You may struggle between your career ambition and personal identity. It's going to require some really strong professional goals, but also you need to stay true to yourself during this time. Your public image, reputation could actually suffer. There is a conflict over here because you are on a self-discovery journey, and it could bring in some kind of issue with your public image. You say too much, you are on the wrong place at the wrong time, good situation, and they're going to record you, and it's not going to be good for your public image. You have to balance out your professional responsibilities and also your the needs and time for yourself. There could be an authority figure also who actually trying to take away your self-confidence, a bully, someone, a boss who is never, or a father figure, never actually pleased with you or proud of you, and it's making very hard for you. You want to get recognition for your hard work, and it could be delayed, but you have to remain authentic and just keep going because it shall pass. There is a strong work ethic for sure, but because of you also want personal freedom and you want to spend money and you want to explore the world, this could clash also big time. Your public role might overshadow your personal desire and your, like that very authentic inner child, like your little child inside. You're going to need to adopt a persona that can actually be represented in your career. So you might have to pretend during this time to become a little bit stronger. And because you can be actually recognized and honored this time, so success might lead to neglecting yourself and your self-care routines during this time. Also, I would say, there is a lot of creativity inside in you, and especially with speaking. But because of you have to pursue a status in your career, that's why you cannot really stay authentic to yourself, and it's going to bother you. All right, let's see Cancer rising, Sun and Moon. What's gonna happen for you guys? It's going to happen in your 12th and 9th house. Where is my phone? I don't know. Okay. So yes, and it is going to be your 12th and 9th house. Let me check again. Yes. So that's anything to do with your philosophical beliefs, higher education, long distance traveling. It's going to conflict with your inner wisdom, the 12th house. And a desire for travel and expanding horizon might be at odds with a need for solitude in introspection. Also, there could be pursuing an education, but it could be actually disrupt your spiritual practices because of you are trying to find peace, or maybe you started Buddhism, but whatever you study in university, it's really clashing together. The quest for adventure might conflict with the need for healing and retreat. Philosophical pursuit could be at odds with emotional needs as well. Also, efforts to broaden horizon through travel or study might interfere with rest and relaxation. You want to you have to go in a different country and learn a new language, or you have to travel somewhere because of education and work, and you won't have time to take care of your spiritual well-being. Actually, you are self-sabotaging yourself because of you need to take on to your work or study. There could be some kind of new teaching responsibilities, right? And it could be some kind of spiritual teaching responsibilities that is coming up, but also it could get delayed because you lost your passport, or your passport expired, things like that, or you need to get a visa and you didn't get your visa yet. There could be some kind of dream work coming through right now, something to do with your subconscious, and it's a spiritual or religious lucidity over here, which could actually help you to solve issues later on. So it's good to have a dream journey during this time. This could be actually, clashing religion and spirituality going to crash right now, or what you studied in university and what you experience during your retreats or during your journey to finish self-sabotaging behaviors. There is definitely emotional healing going on during this time. But don't let, for example, something to overshadow, for example, your self-sabotaging behavior overshadow your study, or your study overshadow your relaxation. All right, guys, let's choose another background, and we're gonna go with Leos. I hope I did the Leos right. Mm. I just did. All right. No, I didn't, so I'm going to choose add images, and this is the one. Open, that is Sagittarius, okay. And then I have another one. Let's see the 10th. That is Leo, okay. So here is Leo rising sun and moon. It's going to happen in your 11th and 8th house. Shared resources and friendship. So Leo might face challenging balancing shared resources and intimate relationship with their loved ones. Anything to do with your lover, anything to do with your significant others. Also with friends as well, because the social group, so you don't want to borrow money or lend money to someone because you know they're never going to give it back to you. There could be some kind of psychological work going on, and it's tension, and you know you're going to need some kind of community involvement, getting not just aspiration from your friends, but also like you need your evaluation their opinion, and they're going to give a bad opinion about you. There could be some kind of hot sex going on between you and a friend, and you know later on you will regret that. That could be something to do with, for example, you know, if you are in a team, for example, in a group where you don't want to lose your friends, definitely don't get involved sexually with others. Issues related to inheritance and shared finances could clash, and actually you need to take responsibility, and you might going to have to go to court because of this. And there could be also some kind of trust issues with friends as well, because of you told them some kind of secret and they spilled it over, and you know you're going to be very, very upset about that. And you know, if you want to have deep connection, you want to have perhaps deep connection, but some friends are very superficial, and it could also make you mad during this time. You know, the conversation, like you want to you know have deep conversation, and other are just so like shallow people, and it's gonna make you upset. But you know, personal growth is possible, you know, especially psychological work during this year. Get a therapist. Plus, also you can merge assets with people who you are uh, friends with, for example, or significant other. But there could be also a conflict over here. So if you are merging your business together later on, you might going to regret that. Your private life and your public life is so different right now. And it's so challenging because you might have a lot of secrets, and you know, friends could spill it out, as I said, and you know, it could be the base of gossip during this time. You definitely have to separate finances and friends, because it could bring in a lot of issues with the group dynamic. All right, let's see, Virgo rising sun and moon. It's going to happen. Let's see, where are you, Virgos? It's going to happen in your 7th and 10th house, guys. So career and significant other, mediation, right? Legal matters, anything to do with honor and recognition. There could be some kind of struggle between your significant other, your career. You are taking a lot of time to build up your career, and your significant other can take that because you have no time for that. So professional life and personal life are in clash right now. Anything to do with your, you know, it could be like you're going to have a troll on social media. One of your subscriber follower could actually troll you during this time. But definitely try to balance your relationship. And if you have a new business partner, then try to make sure you are not bossy, and there is not hierarchic issue between you guys, because then the relationship not going to last forever. And then there could be some kind of marital duties which is going to clash with your responsibilities at work, at your career. For example, if you get recognition, your significant other could be jealous for your recognition. Um, um, Definitely there is a milestone in your career, something which could bring you leadership role, right? And your business partner, maybe you're going to be the one who is getting the promotion and business partner not, and there could be some kind of verbal conflict over there. Definitely conflict with ambition and career pursuit here, and it's going to actually stir up the harmony in your relationship with anyone, a friend, in personal relationship for sure. And your domestic partner could interfere with your recognition, because maybe drunk and you go to a social event and show up in a clothes that is not appropriate, or drunk, or something like that, and you're not going to have the promotion. All right, guys, let's see. We're going actually to Libra right now. Libra, where are you, Libra? Okay, here you are. It's going to happen in your 9th and 6th house. Anything to do with health and your belief system, long distance traveling, elder sibling, publishing, podcasting, YouTubing, language, passport, foreign matters, all right? And health and work and rental property. So there will be, like some kind of health issue could come up, which is actually not let you to, for example, your voice could get hoarse and you're not capable to do your YouTube channels, or anything to do with publishing. For example, you work on your book, and your publisher is bears on you, or didn't do a right work, and you have to redo it again. It could be also with health as well. Anything to do, like your belief system doesn't let you or allow you to actually have that kind of medication, whatever the doctors say you should take. So your belief system doesn't let you. For example, it could be Ozempic, right? Somebody said, take Ozempic, don't do some gastro, bypass surgery, take Ozempic before, but somehow you don't believe in it, and it's clashing in your belief, something like that. Daily routines, anything to do to go for an adventure, or actually it could be also like you want to buy a rental property in a foreign country, an Airbnb, but somehow right now you don't get the visa, or you get your green card or citizenship problem with it, or passport, and you are not capable to go in time and buy that property, but you were planning to buy. There is a lot of practical concerns, and it could actually clash with your philosophical pursuits. Your daily routine might interfere with learning and educational goals as well. And you also need to align your spiritual growth and understanding with your practices, with your health practices as well. So there is a lot of responsibility that you have to take on to, and it's might not going to allow you to travel. Maybe they're going to, the work where you're working at, they're not going to let you to go for vacation, and it's a clash, and then you rather to actually quit or get fired, and then anyway you're going for your vacation. So things like that could happen during this time. But definitely there is an urge to study, urge to actually pursue wisdom and knowledge, but you can actually implement in your daily routines, and later on for sure. And if you need to, you have to go to the doctor, go after the square, get a second opinion, because it might have been some kind of flaws in it. All right, let's see. Scorpio rising, sun and moon. Where is my Scorpio friends? Here are my Scorpio friends. It's going to happen in your 5th and 8th house. Anything to do with investment, love, sexuality, transformation, money. So don't put all your egg in one basket. That is the time when you really have to go, be careful, Scorpios, with your stock investment, cryptocurrency investment, because it could bring some kind of issues. If you have a lover, it could come to surface and you might going to have to divorce and sign that prenup, or that whatever you would get from your significant other, it will be taken away because you cheated and it's come to the surface. It could be something also with pleasure and joy and sexuality and anything which was traumatic before, but somehow it's going to become transformative. You need to definitely solve some kind of conflict with a lover. And it could be like you're going to hire a sex therapist during this time, because there could be some issues on that area. And there is also some kind of dynamic issues in relationship, and it's power dynamic. So who is more powerful in our relationship? Who is the leader in our relationship? Intimacy, that is a square, but that could actually bring in a lot of hot, steamy sex during this time. There could be also something to do with don't gamble right now because you can lose a lot of money. There is a lot of financial obligation during this time and responsibilities, and it's going to actually clash with your leisure activities. There could be some issues with tax, also anything to do with inheritance. You are not serious about it to take responsibilities about this matter, and you can actually get fined during this time. A personal project might going to interfere with your resources and with your assets. So for example, if you are a trust fund baby, or if you have, like you wanted to buy a yacht or a boat or something, and you buy it, but it's going to take more money away because you have to, actually you didn't know that needs a lot of renovation and it's going to be a money pit. So careful if you buy anything which is like for hobby, and it could be actually sold to you and it's not working as well. Okay, what else could be? There is definitely a deep psychological transformation. You can get rid of obsession or fear of death during this time, but first you will need to look into it and face that kind of fear before you are capable to recover from that kind of trauma or from that kind of emotional fear. All right, let me see. Sagittarius rising, sun and moon. What's going to happen with Sagittarius? It's going to happen in the 4th and the 7th house. Anything to do with your living situation, home, ancestors, real estate, and with your partner, with your legal matters, followers, subscribers. So you can struggle between home life and family responsibilities and committed partnership and relationship. Something, if you have a home office, you might going to be actually bothered and not be able to work at home because of your family and because you have a full house and you have a lot of people over. Definitely it could bring in some kind of tension, maybe because of you are well received by the public and you are committed to your social life, and your significant other not going to necessarily like that. It could interfere with your commitment to your partner, your responsibilities. There could be also some kind of issue with your roots, with your family background, something to do with maybe I am not who I am because my father is not my biological father, and it comes out and your partner going to be shocked and about this situation. It could be also like your partner is deciding to sell or buy a house and not necessarily you agree with the situation and you feel left out and it's going to seek for some kind of argument. It could be also like your partner or you are inviting an elder into your house and you don't agree in that, because if it's your mother-in-law, father-in-law, and like you don't necessarily want to take care of someone and it's without your agreeing in it. Definitely could be something, a clash between, a harmonious relationship because someone coming to live with you and you won't have time for each other's. For example, you want to definitely build a solid foundation and try to negotiate with your partner, but it could bring in actually an ending in some of you Sagittarius. It could be a blessing ending. You are not your relationship is not working for a long time, and just let each other's go right now. And what else could be? Well, if you were not equal in the relationship, you might going to rise right now and actually try to pursue that and fight for yourself and demand respect for yourself. If you will have a domestic conflict right now, you have to make sure you respect each other's, otherwise it could lead to divorce. All right, let's see, Capricorn rising, sun and moon, what's going to happen for you guys? Where is my Capricorn? Here is my Capricorn. It's going to happen in your third and in your sixth house, guys. You could actually find your communication style and mental process clashing with your daily work and routine and your health practice. The third house is communication, neighbors, nieces, nephews, aunt, uncles, and sixth house work, rental properties, pet over here. It could also be like careful with your dog pet, not to run out in the neighborhood because it could be hit by a car. It could be also you can clash actually with a neighbor or with a sibling, and you are clashing because of maybe you have your dog barking outside. There is a lot of mental stimulation during this time, but somehow it's affecting your work. Maybe you are drinking too much coffee, maybe you are drinking too much soda, whatever, eating too much chocolate, but somehow it's going to make you restless and you are not capable to focus on your task. But it needs to be done actually. There could be some kind of conflict with social interaction, anything to do with your neighborhood communities. And you need to definitely be disciplined. It's going to require, like beautifully polished, talking, because otherwise it could be a verbal conflict and it could go nasty. So, anything to do with a sibling, with a neighbor could interfere with your work. For example, a sibling comes to visit and it wants to spend time with you, but you need to work, but you're going to neglect your work or neglect your sibling, and there is the conflict over here. You need to maintain your routine, definitely, because otherwise it's, going to sabotage you and stab you in the back. And if you would like to have some kind of innovation in your work, definitely you have to create new ideas. But it could be also right now you don't feel the muse. It could be very not comforting to come up with something new. It's going to give you a lot of stress. And also try to actually have some kind of massage and spa day or something like that, because it's going to help you with learning as well. You're going to be more more capable to understand what you are studying about if you have some spa day and relaxing day, because it's going to help you with your productivity at work and stimulate you more. It could be also like you are overwhelmed and overloaded with information and you don't know how to handle it. Even from neighbors and neighborhood communities, siblings, and you just want to get away because that's it. I don't want to listen to this shit anymore, kind of situation. All right, Aquarius rising sun and moon, it's going to happen actually in your second house and Jupiter in the fifth house. Anything to do with finances and creativity, anything to do, the way you express yourself going to change, your self-worth going to change, you're going to demand respect yourself, you're going to become really creative and you want to pursue some kind of creative avenue, but you need to have finances for that. And you might not have, the financial stability to start actually a studio or to start to paint or publish your book. And also there is a lot of personal joy. For example, you want to go to travel for your bucket list, but there could be some kind of financial issue coming up right now, and you won't be able to. You have to delay it. Anything to do with pleasure, joy, and self-worth, it could conflict over here. For example, you had too much pleasure, too much joy, and right now you're going to be like, what did I do? I'm hangover, or, I don't respect myself anymore. Why did I do this kind of situation? Incomes and hobbies are clashing at this moment because you have a lot of hobbies which is requiring to pay, like invest financially, and like it could take out your money, you overspending during this time. Anything to do with financial security could be odds right now because you took a lot of new creative ventures, or you took too much risk, you gambled a lot. Definitely you will have to manage your possessions and material wealth, because it could be like, all right, I invested here, and I can lose money. So you need to be more careful right now during this time. Your desires are like, could be crazy right now. Desire for ice cream, desire to enjoy life, and you just spending, new hairstyle, new anything, like buying expensive stuffs or joining a sport club or things like that. And, you don't really have the money and you max out your credit cards. You have to build self-worth during this time, and self-worth could come through creative expression. So, writing, lyrics, singing, dancing, it could be whatever you are really passionate about, whatever interests you could be really, really good during this time. But with investment, you have to be careful, definitely. All right, let me see, guys. Last but not least, my beautiful Pisces friends, here it is, a reading for you. It's gonna happen in the fourth house for you guys. Yes, the fourth house is family and anything to do with real estate, anything to do with ending your roots, your living situation. First house, anything to do with your identity, your self-worth, and the way you pretend. You might struggle to balance your personal identity and self-image with your home life and family responsibilities. The family not necessarily expecting who you are, and you have changed a lot during the years, and they have trouble to expect who you are. It could be also a need for self-discipline and personal structure that could bring some kind of tension between your family dynamic and your home environment. Anything to do with maybe you want to represent yourself a different way, or maybe you just came out from the closet and that's why they cannot take you, or maybe you are choosing a different gender and you're going through gender surgery and they are really against that, or maybe you just want to move out or move in, or a big change, with your living situation, and they don't support that. You can have some kind of conflict with some kind of traditional family, some kind of traditions, and you don't want to be and do the Christmas how you did before, or like you are married right now and you're gonna go to your mother-in-law house and your parents going to be angry right now because you are going to tell them this time. You definitely want to seek for independence and not to be helicoptered anymore. So your self-image, could be something like it's going to develop right now, your self-confidence, and you try to have some kind of comfort from your father, mother figure, but somehow you feel like they neglect to give that kind of comfort to you. And it could be simple as it is. You just change your haircut and, they don't even say, and you went from very long hair to a very short and they don't say nothing because they don't like it. They don't want to hurt you, but, they totally ignore it. Definitely you want to have more security and seeking for more security in your home. You might going to invest in home security because you had some kind of bad experience in the past 2 weeks, something like that. And definitely you will have more domestic responsibility around the house, like taking on more tasks right now, and it's going to be make you tired because right now you try to be really ambitious and you have a lot of personal goals and you know how you want to spend your time, but somehow the responsibilities at home with your family, with your children, with your husband, wife, whatever, it doesn't let you to be free. So it's taking away your freedom somehow. Um, yes, and anything to do with you will need to provide support for family members somehow, and it's out from your budget, and it could be a little bit tough right now at this moment. Or even just to talking to someone who doesn't listen to you, no matter what you do, and it's going to bother you because you will say like, how many times did I give you advice, but you don't give a crap what I'm saying here? So why do I take time, from my personal time? It's so, it's important for me, but you don't listen anyway, kind of situation. All right, guys, if you are happy with my podcast, please subscribe, like, and comment below. I would like to know, how did it work out for you? What did you do? What kind of situation arise with the Saturn and Jupiterian square? All right, talk to you later. Thank you so much. Bye for now.